Ordered.
Therefore, we're narcissists.
Yeah, are we though? Or is that what is the other word? Is it you have neurosis? Neurosis?
Neurotic?
I thought there was neurosis. Neurosis?
Egotistical?
Something like that. Like what is the difference between somebody posting a selfie on Instagram
Here's my
in order to get likes?
Here's my argument. For one to say that creating a post is narcissistic, whatever the post may be, did you create a reel? Did you take a picture?
That is a misuse of the word, in my opinion.
Okay. Now, how about this? Not only is that a misuse of a word, it's potentially narcissistic to call somebody a narcissist for simply wanting to create and put it out there. And yeah, get likes. Sure.
You're saying it's narcissistic to call somebody narcissistic?
It could be considered narcissistic to be like, hey, making posts and videos is a traits of a narcissist, you know. Oh, I better not do that then. I don't want to be known as a narcissist.
Because neurotic means having, caused by, or relating to neurosis. That's not helpful. What is a neurotic person? A person who is neurotic acts and feels anxious. They are also commonly feel negative about them. So neurotic is
we are
it's
neurotic.
like self-deprecating.
So we are neurotic.
Yeah, but
we're neurotic narcissists.
That's not good for the. That's not good for the.
Why do you have Eeyore as one of your favorite characters?
That
Eeyore would be considered neurotic.
He is neurotic, yes.
Oh, poor Eeyore.
No. He's arguably the truest one to himself.
Does he actually have friends, or and he just chooses to mope?
So that's the beautiful thing about Eeyore is, yes, they are all his friends, and they still, even though he's neurotic, they still invite him out for adventures. And they know he's going to have a miserable time. But he goes. He willingly goes because he doesn't want to be alone. But he kind of does. But he still goes.
Well, sometimes
because he knows it's important.
Sometimes, like he gets the short end of the stick too, right?
That's just
Eeyore.
the nature of
Eeyore.
the elements. That's just his
Manifestation.
bad, like the rain cloud thing. Like, that's just the universe. Him manifesting his own neurosis state.
So I'm gonna throw out there a definition for a narcissist, a true narcissist. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody who intentionally manipulates other people for the dark arts, like with bad intent, with no care or remorse whatsoever for the pain that they cause on somebody that they considered a friend. That's the definition I have for.
I think that's a sociopath.
But I think a sociopath is somebody who's. When I think of a sociopath, I think of a pathological liar, which also aligns with narcissists, but pathological liar to the point where, like, they might tackle you for personal gain, but they might just tell you that they're worth $250 million for no reason and keep moving.
Because this says narcissists symptoms are they have a unreasonably high sense of self-importance and require constant and excessive admiration. They feel that they deserve privileges and special treatment. They expect to be recognized as superior even without achievements, and they make achievements and talents seem bigger than they are.
That's the definition of a narcissist?
Yes.
Wow, so sociopath might be more of the psychological abuser might be more sociopath.
I think narcissism is a giant trait of sociopathic people, because sociopathic people lack empathy, they're manipulative, everything you're describing. But the narcissistic tendency, because I remember I was getting called narcissistic in high school, but they were referring to me I was always looking in the mirror doing a hair check, and they're like, you're so narcissistic.
If you were to go back and look at those traits, it sounds as though 90% are on point with autism. I'm not kidding.
With a narcissist or narcissism?
Other than the superiority complex, almost everything else that stands around that is on the spectrum.
I would be curious. Can we do this next time on your Perk on the Street?
Yes.
I just want a poll of how many people think. That's
a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
But you gotta mask it and just be like,
I've got a mask to be out there anyway.
Do you feel like you're smarter than most people? Just you gotta start small. You can't, and I want to see how many people think that they are smarter than most people.
So in general, would you consider yourself smarter than the average bear, or would you consider yourself the smartest bear?
Well, you can't say the smart, nobody's gonna say. There's a small percentage, I think, of people that would say that, unless we run into a straight up sociopath. I feel like a sociopath, if we're like, do you feel like you're the smartest? Because somebody who thinks they're the smartest person in the room, that would be narcissistic-ish.
Yes.
And
then people who think they're the smartest person in the room, and then they use that for bad, or whatever, that makes them a socio-narcissist. That's the word.
Because what are they calling...
socio-narcissist.
You know the clips of the guy that's like, I make up my personality, I tell them what they want to hear.
That's all I envision in my brain now while we're talking is the guy who got super rich off of things he made sound so easy, and now he's got a podcast.
Because
he was getting he would just introduce himself to a neighbor, get their social, and then sell their house.
Yeah, so here we go. So a sociopath, lack of empathy for others,
okay,
impulsive behavior,
okay,
attempting to control others with threats or aggression.
Oh, dear God.
Using intelligence, charm, or charisma to manipulate others, not learning from mistakes or punishment, lying for personal gain, and showing a tendency towards physical violence and fun. I feel like, I don't know, I didn't know sociopathic went into physical aggression, but so the sociopath is the one that is the using their narcissistic personality type for dark arts and manipulation. So,
man, I'm glad that we went that in depth. I wish we didn't have to go that in depth, but it's necessary at this point.
Well, the problem is somebody got a hold of the word. So sociopathic people are out there doing bad things, but then in that list of things, in the list of diagnosis, it was narcissistic. Like, they have a very narcissistic personality type. Sure, because they're sociopathic. Like, of course they think they're God's gift to the planet.
But
then everybody just started being like, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. Everybody's a narcissist. The internet made you that way.
my mind is like to me, I'm visualizing a narcissist the way it's defined, and I'm laughing. I'm like, some dude's just standing there like, we need to head due north. Everybody follow me, and it's right off a cliff. And like, but like that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's you know what I'm saying? Like,
how's that a narcissist?
Because he thought he was the smartest guy in the room, and he said, "Everybody, we need to head north," and he just ran right off a cliff. So like, it's kind of like there's comedy in the narcissist. Like if there's some dude that's like, dude, listen, you're not smarter than me, bro.
But it's the effect of the internet, though, because then everybody became narcissistic because everybody thought that their voice was valid in an extent of like, this needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Like, here's my salad. Look at it. Look at it and like my salad I made today.
Ain't nobody gonna have as complex of a salad for the palate as I should have just shown you in such a delicate art form. So then the nerd, everybody's narcissistic. I would like to go, that would be another question is, do you think you're narcissistic? So does that mean if I'm in a room alone with Pancake, does that make Pancake a narcissist?
No. Because the animals don't have access to the internet yet.
Because he is the smartest.
Once they do, you know them cats are going to be posting there. Here's my dead rat. Look at it.
You don't think cats don't know they dominate the internet?
No.
Who are you, dude?
You think there's like a Lion King gathering of like all the animals and
You don't own a cat.
They're taking a poll.
You don't own a cat. Cats come from a trust. Pancake gets a residual from TikTok through the cat fund.
So
there's a cat creator fund.
So there's like...
He pays my rent.
What?
Yes. You think the cat knows.
So you think like the guinea pigs are trying to plot how to move up?
No, they're not there. No, it's just cats. And they've been doing it for years. That's why they got sculptures in the Egypt pyramids. They've been doing it for years. They've been celebrities and they know it. They know it. That's why they walk around with sass. Pancake just clawed me in the face. Why? A, because he's smarter. B, faster. C, stronger.
They do break the don't bite the hand that feeds you rule. With no remorse.
But with comedic apathy?
No.
I don't even know if that's the proper verbiage. It just sounded right.
They have no empathy. Cats are narcissists. They have very narcissistic traits.
You get two of them together, one turns into a sociopath.
Well, yeah, then they manipulate the other one to get what they want.
You ever see when two dogs are in trouble and they're like, all right, which one of y'all ate the pepperonis? And like one of them be like, it was that guy. Look at that guy. And the other guy's like teeth are just, oh shit. Cats don't pull that shit.
Dogs are the abused ones.
Cats don't pull that shit.
They do not.
Cats are like, yo.
Yeah, dogs have like anxiety and depression, and they're and they're like empathetic. What is the term if you're like a victim of a narcissist and you have empathic?
You feel a lot.
I guess that's it. Because if you like bust a dog for doing something, they do the whole like where they're like they lock up. They just freeze.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm so sorry. Even if they didn't do it. You can just walk into a room and be like, did you do that?
You bust a cat for fucking around. The cat looks at you like,
they'll do it again.
You want to throw hands? And you're like, fuck, dude, no. I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up.
You can gaslight a dog pretty easy. You can gaslight a dog super easy.
Yeah, but that's,
You can't gaslight a cat because they have no empathy built in. I blame the internet for like everything.
Of course. It was the beginning of the end of the world.
I just don't. Nobody's studied these implications yet.
No. Why we're now living in the Jetsons era, right? Supposed to be, right?
Oh yeah, that's the date on it, right?
Why am I not having some Neuralink conversation with my cat? From cat-nese to humanese.
Was that in the Jetsons?
It was before the Jetsons.
What do you mean it was before it?
Telepathy? The patent was made.
Sure.
Patent was made in 1888.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think telepathy exists? Would it just
to an extent, yeah. There's a higher frequency. I think. Well, they call it telepathy, but there's got to be a higher sense and a higher frequency that two people can get on, and like have some telepathic communication. Have you seen those twin videos?
Yes. I can tell you that
that's a form of telepathy.
If your basketball team creates a big enough bond, there can be its own form of telepathy.
Because then it would fall in the same realm as like chemistry.
Yep.
Like I don't think there's any irony that telepathy, chemistry, I feel like those words are all in the same realm.
Yep.
To an extent. I mean, telepathy by like.
But like factually, we know that like we can both make eye contact and know like that means like, hey, we should get out of here.
And that's body language. Yeah, but that's like body language.
Body language.
And just like demeanor.
But like, I mean, simple eye contact can also call bullshit. Like if somebody else is talking, you know what I'm saying? Like that
tells.
But I guess that's still body language.
But there's nonverbal communication, which I don't know if by definition is telepathy. Unless telepathy is just brain thing. But again, that's the whole thing about like empaths and stuff like that is picking up on energy.
Yeah.
Because you can just feel. Sometimes you just feel something like their energy's off. There's a weird energy in this room. Like, is that not some form of telepathy?
It's got to be. But I mean, at the same time, it's also. Yeah, it's telepathy, but it's also the innate ability to be hypersensitive to things, right? So other people might feel a shift in energy, but your shift in energy is 15 times higher. Does that make sense?
Mine or the individual? Like
no, like other people who aren't so perceptive or empathetic.
Okay.
Right? So when there's an energy, it might be off, but like it's way off. Does that make sense?
Right. I feel you.
So, yeah, I don't know, man, because I consider myself an empath, right? And I'm easily tricked. I'm easily tricked into, the key words of a salesman is know, like, trust. You want to be known, liked, and trusted. right?
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
And
I didn't know that was a thing.
you helped me direct a video with a commercial.
I know you said that. I just didn't know that was what.
Yeah.
I know this was like a phrase.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyways, I tend to let people straight through that gate. That gate just stands wide open, and that I can be tricked. I've been tricked for years until somebody just turns around and shows me their fangs, and it's like, whoa, dude.
Well, I think that is the assumption. Again, the empathetic person would buy just about any story.
Strives that everybody's a good person.
Yeah, and then you would innately want to help and be kind and be empathetic and provide and give. That's the biggest downfall of the empath would be they constantly want to give their energy away.
Yes.
Like they want
Yes.
to give their energy away, not reserve it and keep it. And then a sociopathic, narcissistic person, for whatever reason, can pick up on that. And then they're just energy suckers. Like they thrive on sucking energy from people to dangerous levels sometimes.
It happened. It's funny. It's not funny at all, but it is funny when it happens on TikTok Live. So in TikTok Live, I go through these random. You just get randomly selected with somebody and they usually want to battle. I want to get to know them if they speak English. And even if they don't speak English, sometimes they're just looking at you. Just looking at you, breathing heavy. Looking at you, breathing heavy. And then, so what I'll do is I'll take a higher stance and I'll look over and just peacock them.
These are
people on TikTok. They just sit there and look at you, and you can almost hear them trying to like breathe it in. They're like, it's like it's almost like a form of meditational through the screen, trying to vampire, and I'll peacock back, and like they can't do nothing.
Are they trying to like punk you? Like,
I could show you an example tonight.
Trying to like punk you out.
They don't care.
Like
They want you stuck in that box, and they want to be able to just look at you and feel your energy through that box. And I go stoner and colder than they are. You're not gonna out peacock me on TikTok Live. That's all I got to say. Two things.
What is the accomplishment? Is this like a weird
It happens one out of every.
What are they gaining from this?
I don't know. I just make sure that I'm not out peacocked.
Do you think it's like a weird? You think that like gives them confidence in their like daily interactions? Like they know it's low risk, so they're just simulating this alpha male mentality.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know what you would call that. Like,
yeah,
exercising dominance.
Yes.
That's such a weird.
Yes.
What are we doing, TikTok?
I could go live right now, and in the next 8 matches, somebody would try to peacock me.
Is that what is? But they don't speak.
Yeah.
There's no words exchanged.
No, and that's when right out the gate. That's the utmost disrespect is when they just start the battle and they don't even say hello. 2 things about me if I'm TikTok live. I'm not going to be out peacocked, and I'm not going to battle you without a fair introduction and true conversation. Even if I'm beating you by 100, 1,000, I will end that battle if we're not talking.
What is the point of the battle, theoretically? Like, I get...
It's to see who has a stronger team, which is bullshit.
Well, it's just the whole...
It's bullshit.
Sure, but...
People have lost their homes.
What did TikTok... What?
People have lost their houses gifting.
Why?
Because it's just like a gambling addiction, dude, and it makes you feel like that you're cared about.
Ah.
Because the community all shouts your name through the chat, and they shout your name through the live, and you gain followers. And next thing you know, you literally lost your house because you wanted to throw a Zeus for somebody. And in the meantime, you got people going, don't forget to tap and share. Don't forget to tap and share. We could really use a rose. We could really use a rose. How about somebody throw a galaxy? We could do a galaxy. Along with, of course, our NPCs. Ooh. 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 Thank you for the rose. Ooh, ice cream cone. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose.
TikTok is
Popcorn, so good. Popcorn, so good.
TikTok is so weird. I scroll through TikTok late and like lose faith in humanity. I've already said this before, but it needs said again.
When you're scrolling through TikTok and you come across a live and there's some completely bald 50-year-old dude slowly painting himself green. There's 3,000 people in his room and he's about to net $3,000. What the fuck have we come to?
I mean, if it's worth it. It's addictive, though. If I could find some niche on TikTok and was raking in $1,000 alive, like, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
No, of course not.
Unless it was, like, something atrocious.
No, I mean,
but if it just took that.
Well, Amber Unavailable, you know, she's incredible. Have you watched any yet?
I can't watch it.
Dude.
It's just not my brand.
It's
it's a character.
It's not about the brand.
Just saying
it's about studying the science behind the profitability.
Sure, I think
of course I watch because I enjoy her, but I also am studying exactly what she's doing to have such a strong arm on the market, because she does.
Right. I mean, it's very interesting case study.
The most beautiful thing about her is it's all based around class and school, right?
Yeah.
And no matter what happens to her in public, whoever decides to fuck with her gets schooled too. Everything is class and school. Like,
do you know her background?
Well, I think she got famous with rap songs that are funny.
Ah, okay. So yeah. So she did parody rap songs
and
about topics and got her following.
Yeah, and she's also absolutely beautiful.
So she's a comedian.
Yes.
I mean, do you think she was doing stand-up prior to TikTok?
She would be in the top 10 stand-ups within the next 3 months if she just decided to try.
Do you think she was doing stand-up prior to TikTok, or do you think she found her comedic voice through TikTok, potentially?
She might have tried stand-up, and she might have seen that it was kind of a ruse, which it kind of is. I mean, you know, a lot of it's luck, to be honest with you. But either way, you can tell that just because she's live, just like stand-up, she don't miss.
Because like Bo Burnham, I don't think he ever was performing live prior to YouTube, and then found his comedic voice and routine through YouTube, and then took it to the stage.
That sounds about correct. And
so he wasn't doing like stand-up prior and then doing YouTube videos. So she...
No, but he did have a routine.
Right.
You know, all he needed was 2 or 3 quirky jokes before he hopped on the piano again.
Sure. Yeah. Segues.
Yeah. And usually his segues were coming after people who were talking.
I'm just curious. Like, I would be more fascinated to watch like a 10-part series on like TikTokers like her and like their process of creating their channel. Like what how did she come up with Class?
Oh yeah.
How did she come up with this character? Like what went into this? Like because that was like there had to have been some sort of a planning phase.
Yeah, same thing with Jay Bear, the
like conceptualization.
Same thing with Jay Bear, the demon whisperer. Same thing with Jay Bear. You know.
Sure. Like who he had to sit down. I don't know if he talked to his friends and was like, I'm a go start a TikTok and I am going to
put
demons in people.
Yeah.
And then just went for it.
Yeah, but like at the same time, he's got a great backdrop. His audio's on point. His moderators are on point. Like there's definitely somebody else in that room with him too. Sure. There might not be. There's got to be. No. Either way, this was written down and mapped out. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't just decide he was going to put demons into people. He got the backdrop right. He got the clothes right. He got the audio right. Like and then
yes, he set out to do a routine.
And dude,
but like what went into this? He's probably doing it right now.
No, it's not late enough.
Oh, he does it. He's on the late night crowd TikTok.
What's even funnier about Jay Bear is you can remove the demon, but it costs like a universe or something. You have to pay for it. And for the record, these demons can be used for good.
These are different kinds.
Yeah.
You could pay for different kinds of demons.
Well, the demon is what you make of it. Dude, that's the beauty of the whole shtick, dude.
What is happening?
He fills you up.
He fills you up.
He makes you close your eyes. He fills you up, assumes you're asleep, goes, wake up. And everybody in the chat section is like, fill him up, fill him up.
I can't. Now, there was that TikToker that had a giant following, and he made a short film, or he made like a short film, and then invited like his entire TikTok following to come to the short film, and like nobody came.
Yeah.
And then he like went on, then he was like, I'm leaving TikTok. And like, it destroyed him.
Well, you know, I got to give him respect because if you don't throw the party, you don't know if anybody's going to show up. I've been there. You've been there.
Right. But he had like 2 million followers.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? So does Riff Raff. And Riff Raff played in front of 75 people at the Maritime Park just recently. You know, so my point is maybe he didn't go about it the right way, but he threw the party. But you got to understand, if you don't know how to face a party that nobody shows up to, you'll never be ready for a party that everybody shows up to. And if that's going to make you quit, you should have never started.
Quit.
You should have never started. And that's the one thing about internet fame, that going through the grind of open mics and trying to be an actor and all that stuff, you just hit. And all of a sudden you hit, and you think that all these things are supposed to come with it. And maybe you throw a party and nobody shows up. Well, guess what? If you went through the grind, nobody showed up to the party till you were worth it. And if you go through the grind like that, they do show up to the party when you have one. Does that make sense?
To an extent, yeah. I think what I interpreted it as was that he realized that his following like wasn't real. Like that's kind of how they made it sound, was that he had the realization that his following was like all bots.
Well, that's
and
on
his
him.
life was an illusion.
That's on him for not having a grasp on his community. Because if you have a grasp on your community, you have a grasp on how big it is.
But he's got to he had to have been making income from it.
Well,
like who's giving him money? Why is he unless he just had the views and not the resource?
Well, what if people like to watch him but they don't want to hang out with him? You know, there's people like that. There's plenty of people like that. There's plenty of people that are on my For You page that...
I forget which guy. You know who I'm talking about, though? Like, are you vaguely familiar with the story?
Yes, 100%. I don't remember his name, but yes, I remember that this guy. He had a bunch of followers. He threw an event. Nobody came in. He was like, "This, you know, I think this is about it for me." And well, you know what? When there was 75 people at the Riff Raff show, he didn't go, "You know what? This is it for me." And he'd already been there with less people at a show.
Sure.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as a performer or an artist in general,
like, hey guys.
Like we're taught that in theater is it doesn't matter if there's 15 people in the audience or 250, you do the same show. You give these people that paid to see you the same show. You don't half-ass it because there's 15 people in the audience.
Exactly.
Like you just do the show.
Exactly. But you also don't get hurt that you don't get hurt by the fact that there's only 15 people in the audience. You move on.
Yeah.
And you figure out how to get more people in the audience. And the ways to know and not ensure but get your best results is to have a good hold on your community by Discord or just putting it out there on TikTok saying, hey, I'm thinking about having a festival. How many people are behind this? How many people would love to come see this? You know, and if, you know, they have 5,000 comments and they only need to seat 2,000 people, let's run this show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, it sounds to me like this guy was like, what up, TikTok? We're throwing a party. Can't wait to see y'all there. And nobody showed up.
Or you get people to show up, but then it's like the Willy Wonka park. Are you familiar with the Willy Wonka park?
Yes.
Yes. It's brilliant.
I got asked to go out to this place, the House on Haunted Hill, somewhere out in like Alabama.
Like a Halloween house?
Yeah. And I like I was the media guy. Like I was going to promote it. And when he walked us through the ghost tour, the ghosts were on break.
Wait, what?
The ghosts were on break, bro.
What do you mean they were on break?
They were eating Kit Kats and drinking Sprites. They were not.
But you were just there to do a promo video.
But I was going on a real tour.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I follow. So the video went real bad then.
People kept commenting, how was it? Because I'm like, I'm live, and I had this cool little backdrop. I'm like, I'm live at the House on Haunted Hill. It's crazy out here. And everyone's like, how'd it go? And I just didn't respond.
It was crazy.
It was awful. It was awful, dude. Wasn't worth the gas.
But if the ghosts were there, it would have been.
No.
So that nobody communicated that we got a promoter coming through. We need to run the house.
There was other people on the tour with me. It wasn't like it was just me and my crew. Like I had a crew.
In my crew. How many deep did you roll?
Me and one other.
But there was paying customers with y'all?
Yes.
Oh no. How did they not sync up? That's just bad. That's bad planning. They didn't have teams. I think at Universal, the way I've heard they run that is I think it's 10 minutes on, 30 minutes off, 10 minutes on. It's like how they rotate their actors. Because it's like too much, like 10 minutes of just sheer lights and chaos and smoke and screaming. Like, yeah, they have like, and they just like swap their actors like every 10 minutes. And then you do 10 minutes on, and then you break. 10 minutes on, break. And it's just constant. They're rotating like 150 people per house.
You know, I think a lot of people don't understand, like, when they see, I don't know, me on camera or me at bingo, or, you know, they see a charismatic, freaking fired up, positive energy dude, and I am, right? But, man, 20 minutes of that is, to me, is the equivalent of 6 hours of work. Like, I mean, it is everything I have to be that shining light, if that makes sense.
And like Perk on the Street?
No, Perk on the Street's almost therapeutic. Once you get denied by the first group of people, which has already happened, once you get past that, it's therapeutic. You're talking to people and you just move on at your own discretion. It's cool.
So which personality type are you talking about then?
I'm talking about bingo.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Now, Perk on the Street still is me up and up.
Right.
And at the end of it, I'm not exhausted, but I am up and up, which is, you know.
Perk at the Street is your own leisure of entertainment.
Yes.
But bingo is a performance for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's a bunch of high fives and you're doing great. You're badass. You're, you know, whatever. And it's like, dude, I'm really not. And I think they're like, you know, a lot of people are like, you're bad at taking compliments. And it's like, yes and no, you know, because although I appear badass right now and I can do this on cue, I can't do this forever. I can't do this all day and night. I can only do this for 2 hours. When it's over, I need to go sit down.
Right. The battery is drained.
For instance, like to polarize it, you got me to do gin and juice the other night. And the adrenaline afterwards, sometimes, not that time, but sometimes, like, I'll have to take a walk around the block.
Right.
To stop from shaking after I do gin and juice. Gin and juice is like bingo, a 2 hour long bingo.
In 2 minutes.
Mashed up in 2 minutes. And so, like, I don't know if you would call that masking. I don't know what you call that, but like, it is me, if that makes sense, right? It's just like the engaging over the top, I'm still a nice guy when I'm chilling. I'm just not like, hey, let's go hiking. You know what I mean?
But you're performing. Thus for...
I guess the word...
You're kind of being a narcissist.
I guess. I mean, no, dude. Dude, I'm never the smartest guy in the room.
I am.
Huh?
Well, in this scenario.
Yes. Also, by me submitting that I'm not the smartest guy in the room might be me assuming I'm the smartest guy in the room, which makes me a narcissist. Because you said it,
you had. There was some heavy sarcasm in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, yep, you are.
I get, you know what? Like, it could be the most narcissistic thing ever, because sometimes I'll disassociate and just call the numbers and letters. And certain games don't require certain numbers or letters, and the crowd knows. And I'm so disassociated. I just yell out the numbers, and they're like, "It's not in this game." And I'm like,
I think I already. Do you know how you? There's one foolproof way to know who a sociopathic person is.
Hit me with it.
Like, there's one giant red flag. Like, women, I can help you out right now. You want to know the kind of person to avoid? Somebody that tells you what they scored on their IQ test.
Yes.
Done. Wrap.
Yep.
Done.
Were you with me?
I scored 197 on my IQ test. Okay.
Were you with me that night? We were out on a patio bar, and this chick was telling us that her marriage was in the toilet.
Yes.
And she said her husband's great. He provides. He works hard. And we were like, well, is there anything that can be done to salvage this marriage? Go ahead. Please, if you remember.
She said if he took her on a vacation to, like...
Hawaii or somewhere.
Yeah. Then they'd be fine.
So a vacation to Hawaii would make you no longer want to divorce your husband.
Yes, that is what she said.
I bet her husband's a narcissist.
What?
I bet her husband's a narcissist, bro.
That we all are.
I bet her husband's a narcissist.
Or she'll tell people he is.
Doing everything he can to provide for the family. In the meantime, the only thing that can save the family is a trip to a beach when we already live on one.
Do you know your IQ score? Have you taken one?
I'm a 197.
Are you really? You're bullshitting me. I don't even know what's high.
I don't know if 197's on the scale, to be honest with you.
I don't either. And why are you taking this test?
What'd you get on your ACT?
No earthly idea.
Bullshit.
No idea.
Bullshit.
No idea.
I'm smarter than you.
Because you know your ACT score.
I don't know. The first one was bad, but the second one was like either a 19 or a 21.
I just don't like, what does standardized testing accomplish?
Were you a bad test taker? Did you absorb the knowledge, but you were bad at taking tests?
I did okay. The worst thing I have, reading comprehension for me is garbage. Because I'm an auditory. If I listen to a book, like if you played me a book on, like, what is that shit called? The Audible or whatever. Yeah. If I listen to a book, I'll retain the information.
Yep.
If I read 13 pages and you ask me, what did you just read? I'll be like, no idea. Like, I would have to go, like, the reading comprehension thing, I'd have to, like, go back, like, every time and, like, scour the context clues because I don't retain reading, which is weird because I can read it. Well, no, because even when I memorize lines, I have to do it out loud. Yep. You can't just give me a script and, like, I read over it for hours and then be able to do it. Even when I, like, am in my bed trying to memorize lines, I'll, like, say it out loud, like, softly, and just be like, you know, they went through the park and they would do it, because I have to hear it.
My lines go straight into a voice recorder.
Yeah, that's how. So that's the only thing I know I consistently scored bad at was reading comprehension.
All right, so reading comprehension was all right for me, but I found it difficult because of the context clues. And yes, I fade out a page and a half into it if I'm not engaged, right? And anything that had to do with learning, I was not engaged, right? But sometimes a really interesting book, I could get lost in. Now, that said, auditory learning is 100% more effective for me as well, right? Especially, you can listen to the book twice. You know, and like just like with trying to learn a script, just keep it flowing. Just keep it on repeat. Just, you know, but math.
You answer 20 questions in 20 minutes and you get an IQ score.
Does time matter?
I don't know. Probably. Like, what is this IQ test? Have you taken the IQ test?
Yeah, at one point.
And you scored decent?
No, probably not.
I just don't understand why this is the standard of intelligence.
So
what is this made up, you're intelligent?
Took me 6 years to pass college algebra.
Who's made up intelligence? That's my question.
It was artificially intelligent.
No, I'm just saying, like, who all got together and said
Edward Newton.
they all got together and created intelligence?
Math. An apple fell, and then everything exploded into one geometric fence.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
That's fair.
Not you. What's that gonna do? Intelligence. Unless you're Sherlock Holmes, and then it's like radius speed. Counterpunch to. That's intelligent fighting.
Jiu-jitsu?
No, you know, have you seen the... It's the Sherlock Holmes with, I'm blanking on his name now. He played Iron Man.
No.
What is his name? Dang it. Iron Man.
I know what his face looks like.
Exactly. Anyway, that guy plays Sherlock Holmes. And he's in, like, a battle with, like, a giant brute. And, like, they do this whole sequence where he, like, deducts everything's about, like, velocity, like, the guy's anatomy, his weight proportion, and, like, he basically runs through an entire simulation, and they, like, show the simulation, and then it, like, pans out in, like, 4 seconds, and he completely destroys the guy. But it's all based off, like, I'll show you the clip when we get off here, but it's a cool scene and concept as far as Sherlock Holmes is not inherently stronger than this man. He's just more intelligent and uses the atmosphere and situation to beat this person.
9 times out of 10, the cooler person wins.
The who?
Cooler.
The cooler person.
He or she whose heartbeat maintains, and they keep a fluid state of mind.
That's what he does. So. Oh no, it's you. It's you.
Yeah. Usually, 9 times out of 10, the cooler person wins.
Yeah, I can agree with this.
Whoever holds the heart rate, whoever just keeps that flow state of mind, they don't have to be a better fighter if they're in more control within themselves. For me, I know that 90% of the population thinks you're going fisticuffs. So as soon as somebody swings, I put them in a headlock and it's over.
The average IQ is between 85 and 115.
197.
I think that... Hold on. What was... I mean, there's got to be something to the IQ because...
Hey Siri, what is my IQ?
I don't know a nickname for you.
Yeah, you're not that high, dude.
Damn.
Do you know what Albert Einstein's IQ was?
No.
160.
Do you think it matters?
Well, that's the thing, is Albert Einstein's IQ was 160, whatever we're claiming that intelligence is. Now let's go Elon Musk IQ level, 155 to 160. So, like, anybody that's theoretically what they're saying is, like, a genius is in the 155 to 160 range.
So what you're saying is if you're a puppet, your IQ can go above the average.
They just give you, you get the score.
Yep. If you're a puppet, you get the score.
I know a sociopath that claims that his IQ is 155.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just told you mine's 197. So.
But that's the thing, though. I'm just like, yeah, he tells mainly women. My IQ is 155.
I was the guy that
Everything you say to me from now on, you're stupider than me, just so you know that.
follow.
So, just know.
I don't mind not being the smartest person. Never, I got taken into the smart kid testing 1 or 2 different times, and both times I came out with them thinking that maybe they should put me in special ed. So like
That was the thing with Einstein, though. Like, autistic people score extremely well in the IQ test, but then like can flunk out of high school because it's like they're being taught. It's almost too low of a level for them, and they think beyond it.
well, I saw beyond it, if that makes sense. When it came to English.
Like, I feel like Common Core is designed to lower the IQ.
Oh, it is. That's why it got turned around.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
Like, you would think, and a highly intelligent person could look at an equation, solve it in their brain, and then give you the answer. Common Core was like, nah. You need to explain how your brain got there.
I wouldn't be opposed to putting the people who came up with Common Core up for treason.
Treason. Oh.
Hey man, like you made an obvious attempt to try to stupefy us.
I don't even know if it was. It just didn't make sense.
That was the point, dude.
How did they get it passed?
Don't forget old W. Old W had the no student left behind.
Highest IQ ever. But I was about the no student left behind thing was fine to me. I'd have to like know more of the terms of it. But I thought the whole thing with that was just because a kid can't excel particularly well in a school setting doesn't mean they should get, not a fair shot to actually learn in a different environment. I thought that was kind of the concept of that. Maybe I'm over glorifying and
I thought that like you getting a 90 and being a normal person in this scenario and me getting a 75 holds the same value. I could misconstrue that. I could be wrong.
I thought the no student left behind thing was
it was a curb. It was a curb that aligned everybody. It was like a form of educational socialism.
I'm about that.
Well, you're about that in the fact of getting through class and getting through the educational system.
Yeah.
Which we all learn out. Those who know can't unknow that it's all indoctrination.
Apparently, there's somebody that had an IQ score of 400.
197.
How is this possible? How does Elon Musk have a 155, but this dude had a 400? Was he like a demigod? Like, what's... What?
He could fly.
Like...
They were like, just give him a 400.
That to me is, if you have an IQ of 400, you should be able to read my mind and fly.
Just levitate and just...
Yeah.
Just...
My God. There's people in the 325 range. Who are these people?
Puppets.
Are... like Kermit?
Puppets.
Have you heard of these people? Tell me if you've heard of these names.
Puppets, let's go.
Have you heard of these names?
Okay.
400 IQ score. Dragon DeMello.
Puppet.
Do you know who that is?
No, but he's already got a Illuminati name.
And Dragnon DeMello. Michael Kearney.
Illuminati?
I don't know. Marnin Labau Kozer.
all of these people are spawns of the devil.
Anian Castelli Cawley.
They all sound like vampire names. Every one of these people sound like vampire names.
Carl Goss. That's Carl's normal.
They had to make it seem normal. We gotta go find this real government name.
Threw in a Carl. The lower the intelligence gets, the more bland the names are. Carl Guess. Here we go. William James.
You know what? You know what? William James is the most believable out there. If the puppeteers knew what they were doing, there would be a John Smith up there at number 2, and there would not be a Vladimir Ellis.
I feel like this guy's normal. Terrence Teo is probably normal.
He's a solid top 5 in the realistic realm. Literally, some guy named Tom needs to be number 1.
What's even weirder?
Or Muhammad.
Didn't I just say that Elon Musk and what's his face were in the 150s?
For now.
Like Albert Einstein and
For
Elon
now.
Musk, I thought were 150 or 250. What did I say?
150.
Oh, only 150? So these guys are all in the 200. Here we go. Marilyn Voss Savant.
Well, now we know where the name came from.
Marilyn Voss Savant.
Now it makes complete sense. Now that person.
He's a 228er. Where he's not in the 4. What does 400 IQ look? What is that?
It looks like an IBM Watson.
Is that? What is the IQ of a fucking smartphone?
The IQ of a smartphone?
Yes. Do they have that number? Like, what's
Siri.
What's your IQ? Ask Siri your IQ.
What's your IQ?
My aim is to be intelligent and helpful. It's more of a journey than a destination.
We're fucked.
She knows. She's being humble.
We're fucked.
Because if you have the vast knowledge of the entire internet, that's got to at least put you in the 250s. Like,
they're in the 400s, right there with Vladimir.
so every smartphone is in the 400s.
Sure. Don't forget, our smartphones have just as much technology as it took to get to the moon that we never went to. Hey Clayton, I got this great camera shot idea for you.
What?
I know we've never been here before, right? It's a really luminescent place, but here's what we got to do. We got to make sure we got a wireless signal, right? And we got a tripoded camera to catch us taking off from the moon back to Earth. And it's 1969. You got this?
I'm following.
I was just saying, can you get the shot?
Yes.
All right, man. I'm going to rest in peace. Rest in peace, homie. The camera panned up with it. The camera panned up with it, Clayton. They had wireless gimbals. Wireless gimbals and megahertz that reached to the damn moon. Fly me to the moon.
I'm trying to find the IQ of a smartphone, and I'm not finding it. Is your smartphone really smart? What is the average IQ of a human with a smartphone together? That's terrifying. Average IQ is 100. You just have to answer 20 questions, and you can find out your IQ score.
Yeah.
That seems not smart.
Hey Siri,
Undersleeping.
who runs the world?
The United Nations replaced the League of Nations in 1945 after World War II. Almost every internationally recognized country is in the UN, as it contains 193 member states out of the 196 total nations of the world. This answer is from Wikipedia.
Those other 5 nations are the ones we're probably the ones that we've been at war with.
What?
What I just heard, my translation of that is, there's only 5 countries left that don't have a central bank.
Okay.
So, they need some freedom. Freedom.
What are these 5 countries?
This is going to be terrifying.
Is it listing them?
Hey Siri, what countries are not a part of the United Nations?
The 2 countries that are not part of the United Nations are the Holy See, also known as Vatican City, and Palestine. This is from Samandin.com.
There's only 2 now left.
Well, Vatican's its own. Vatican's its own thing.
And Palestine's in the middle of a fight. I know nothing about that conflict. Rest in peace to everybody, and hope the best for everybody. I stay out of politics and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on, but there you have it.
I mean, it's all from what I have heard. I won't get into it, but
I ain't getting into it.
From what I understand, it's a thousands and thousands and thousands of year old war between a small slate of land that basically both are like, our God claims this is ours, and you took it under your pretense that your God said that you can have it, but our God says it's our land, and something to that effect.
It's literally end of time biblical, right? Even odder is there's a port that's worth billions and billions of dollars that is at stake as well, if you didn't know that.
For that conflict?
Yes.
I mean, that makes more sense.
But I mean, it's still biblical, right? But let's just say, for nefarious reasons, and what if reasons, what if there was a really long story written by people who had the money to control the world hundreds of years ago, and now they're playing it out because they have the money to play it out. And why not believe in everything that book has been ever told you, because it's always right?
Mm-hmm.
I am saying what if. It's a what if. It is a hypothetical. I believe there is a God. I have faith in God. Do I know who God is? In my heart, I do. Source, that some might say. And some might say that we all are God. So, I mean, it's a crazy how many different perspectives you can take when it comes to stuff like that.
So you think you're a god?
No.
Good, because I would have called you a sociopath.
No, but like I've seen people profess that, like, you know, everything is God.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm just saying that's another way people look at things. But if somebody had enough money to write a story and then play it out like a movie, and not only that, have billions of people tithing.
It's a large special effects budget.
Well, I also enjoy seeing pastors have 2 private jets and mansions. Because nothing says I'm going to heaven like putting money in a bucket so they can go get a freaking extra waterfall put into their fucking backyard. You know, there was nothing more public humiliating than the tithing. You are sitting in an arena of your peers as they're passing around a pan. Everybody's watching whether or not you are going to give money to the Lord, i.e. the pastor. Everybody's watching, so you feel like you got to do something, and it's not only just I got to do something to go to heaven. I got to do something so that fucking my neighbor John doesn't think I'm a piece of shit. I saw that ass backwards, dude, literally.
I'm going about the tip method all wrong at my shows.
Dude,
I'm putting it at the front door. I need to be like, thank you guys for coming. This is a tip jar for our actors. We're going to pass this around.
No, dude, have the actors walk them around. And then they all throw them in the same pot. Dude, there's people on your cast that will tithe over $250.
You can't double hit the tables, though.
Sure you can.
No.
Just pull off that old Aussie hat.
No.
Put it in the bucket in there.
That said, subscribe to Roses Galaxies.
Daily challenge is a lightning bolt.
We need 80 of them. Galaxies, donations. We're watching.
We also accept EBT.
If you don't, we got to end the show. And we'll be homeless. And
yeah. What is a home?
And with that, it's been locked in a basement with
It's the fucking off button.
with Clayton
It's the fucking off button. Bro.
and
It's the fucking off button, bro.
Perk.
It's the fucking off button,
Bam,
bro.
bam, bam, bam,
It's the
bam.
fucking off button, bro. It's the fucking off button, bro.